Hello, my name is Alyssa Prater, and today is June 9th of 2024, and I would like to welcome y'all to my presentation on the regulation of gastric phase digestion. In this session, we will explore how neutral and hormonal mechanisms regulate this crucial phase known as digestion, ensuring the efficient breakdown of food. First of all, we will be talking about the overview of the gastric phase. Gastric phase of digestion follows the cephalic phase, involves the secretion of gastric juices and the initiation of protein digestion. This phase is crucial for breakdown of food into the semi-liquid form called chyme, preparing it for nutrient absorption in the intestines. As you can see here on the right, it has the dietary input, which is also known as the mouth, where we consume the food, and then there is secretions of our saliva, which helps break down the food before it goes down the esophagus and enters the stomach. In the stomach, there is more gastric secretions, which help further break down the food before it moves to the liver, the pancreas, and then the intestines. And once it gets to the intestines, after all of the secretions through those parts of the gastric tract, the water is reabsorbed in the small intestines, and then it is then traveled to the colon, which also has more secretions and also reabsorbs, and whatever it does not use, it puts to waste in fecal matter. Nextly, we will be talking about neural regulation. The neural regulation of the gastric phase primarily involves the vagus nerve, which stimulates the secretion of gastric juices when food is ingested. The parasympathetic nervous system, through the release of acetylcholine, activates gastric reflexes. These include short reflexes controlled by the local enteric nervous system with the stomach wall, and long reflexes involving the central nervous system. So on the right here, you can see that I have the parasympathetic nervous system shown, as well as the sympathetic, just so people are able to tell the difference. So you can see that the vagus nerve is present right here, as well as the image of the stimulating effects that there is for the secretion of bile, as well as the waste product, which will go through the bladder and come out as urine. Next, we'll be talking about hormonal regulation. Hormonal regulation in the gastric phase involves several key hormones. Gastrin, secreted by the G cells in the stomach, stimulates the production of hydrochloric acid, also known as HCl. Histamine, released by enterochromaffin-like cells, further promotes HCl secretion. Somatostatin, on the other hand, inhibits gastric secretion to help regulate acidity. Next, we'll be talking about the gastric secretions. Gastric juice is composed of several elements, including hydrochloric acid, HCl, pepsinogen, intrinsic factor, and mucus. HCl creates an acidic environment necessary for enzyme activity, while pepsinogen is converted to pepsin to digest proteins. Intrinsic factor is essential for vitamin B12 absorption, and mucus protects the stomach lining from the harsh acidic environment. The secretion of gastric juice is regulated by the cephalic, gastric, and intestinal phases. On the right here, you can see an image of a healthy stomach as well as an unhealthy stomach, which has ulcers caused by excessive gastric acids, which has messed up the lining of the stomach. And this is why it's important for there to be a balance between the absorption, the pepsinogen, and the acid complex that helps break down all of our food that we take in through our mouths to be able to digest in our stomach properly. Next, we'll be talking about the feedback mechanism. Feedback mechanisms play a vital role in regulating gastric secretions. High acidity in the stomach triggers a negative feedback loop that inhibits further HCl secretion. The estrogastric reflex, which reduces gastric motility and secretion, is activated when chyme enters the small intestine, ensuring a coordinated digestion process. As you can see here on the right, I have it showing where you can see the brain, which has appetite, is what your brain feels, and then it knows it needs energy intake. In the stomach, you feed it food, and then it's able to empty out through and relay to your brain again that it needs more food to have more energy. And on the right, there is even more excessive things to help you understand of the increase of the stimuluses as well as the reduction, which helps suppress the stimuluses. Next, we'll be talking about the summary and the key points. So in summary, the regulation of gastric phase of digestion involves a complex interplay of neural and hormonal mechanisms. These processes ensure the efficient breakdown of food and prepare it for absorption in the intestines. Understanding these mechanisms highlights the importance of communication and coordination in the digestive system. And that is all that I have for today. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Thank you. Now I have the case study regulation of the gastric phase of digestion. Feel free to read through the scenario and answer the questions below to help you get a better understanding of what was discussed in the PowerPoint. I will attach this below so that you're able to read this, and after you've come up with your own answers, you can scroll down to be able to see the answers. And this case study and answer key should help you understand the regulation of the gastric phase of digestion and how various factors can influence gastric secretion and lead to common digestive issues such as heartburn and indigestion.